The Strangford expedition is intended for mature audiences and may contain material that some people find disturbing. Please see the episode description for content warnings and listen with care. Ravi, running from the approaching Isigaruk. Wolfgang blitzes by you down a fork in the road, but you are just too slow. You can't keep up with him. Your foot buckles beneath you. Tears come to your eyes, already frozen. They cut down your cheek like little ice daggers, and you feel something large and clawed grab on to your leg. Such a naughty boy to run from Mummy. And then it yanks you into the darkness, never to be seen again.
Can I mark a burden, please?
Yes, of course you may, Vyn. Perhaps that was merely a possible future in the life of poor Ravi. Go ahead and read the prompt for this fourth burden of the icebound dream.
Narrate a flashback to what happened during the second expedition, how Strangford returned a changed man. Show us what the records omit. Who was with him at that moment and what silence passed between them. Let us see the object he brought back and the reason he hides it. On this second expedition, what we don't see on the page is music. No notation, no lyrics, just in his mind an ever-present cacophony of singing, screaming, etc. Vocalizations that shouldn't exist on the Arctic but persisted. And the only witness to this was Wolfgang. Silence was there because there couldn't be any speech between them other than understanding and Wolfgang's knowledge of the ice and the reason he barks to break through whatever insanity that clawed into Strangford. And what he keeps on him, which feels childish, is a whistle. Small silver to call Wolfgang back, or to at least have some sort of communication between them to know what was real and what wasn't.
Ravi, instead of being captured by the Isigaruk, you manage to elude it for now. What does that look like?
Pulsing down the steps, fighting everything to just stop and accept fate for what it is. He keeps running and keeps running and running and running until his feet finally catch up to his mind and the adrenaline finally giving him the will to live and make its way down without killing himself, accidentally or otherwise.
You push yourself past your limits, and eventually you do hear that thudding from the Isigaruk grow farther and farther away. You are safe for now. How are you feeling?
Tired is an understatement. I guess grateful, but the dread is prickling at the back of his head, and there's no time to be calm. So it's just that pulsating thud of his heartbeat cracking against his ribs and everywhere else in his body because heat is rapidly fading from his digits. It's just pillows on pillows of smoke, the air condensating against the ice. And I think as fast as his face flushes, it disappears from the cold.
Please take the condition freezing to death. Elsewhere in these twisting ice caverns, we find Maeve kneeling over a swaddled bottle of laudanum. There is such a desire to take this and to just lay down and let your worries wash away, let your life slip away, but you hold steady. How?
Maeve's eyes, the vessels have burst in them from how hard she was clenching her body to not follow that thing to do. She's been tensing all over, crying, eyes red. but she thinks if she's gotten this far, the worst thing she could do is undo any good she's done and go back to that person. And she just clenches until she can't feel her fingers anymore, so that she couldn't pick it up if she wanted to.
Ooh, okay. I feel like going off of this bloodshot eyes, I want to give you the condition blinded.
Mm-hmm.
So, Maeve, perhaps you hear rather than see Wolfgang and Ravi running towards you.
I just hear, I don't know what I hear. I hear the dog. I hear Ravi's breaths. That's good. But Maeve does not want to be seen like this. But she doesn't know where they are exactly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Maeve. Oh, Maeve. Okay.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? What? Oh, God, what's face?
I don't know that I can help you out of here or help you with anything.
We have to go. We can't do. We have to. Come on. We can find the stairs or something. We can't do this anymore.
Where is everyone else? Where's everyone else?
Maybe it doesn't matter. No. And he takes her hands and is slowly leading her back to the steps.
I don't feel your fingers, but I do feel the pull of my arm as I've lost the feeling in my fingers.
And he realizes how frozen they are. The tips, the color, and he's growing more and more sick, but he's trying to put on a brave face despite the fact that she can't see it. Maybe the others can find us, or not. I don't care anymore. We just need to get out of here.
I will follow. I will follow you. I'm sorry.
No, there's nothing to apologize for. You did your best. We all did.
I didn't do my best. I did not do my best.
Hey, please don't argue with me. Thank you.
Some distance away, Einar, I think you hear some scraps of this shouted conversation between Ravi and Maeve, but you're too busy to pursue it because you are gazing through this spyglass, and you yourself are under the ice. And so all around you are these strange, twisting, almost kind of aurora-like lights all around you. It is disorienting. It is mesmerizing. It is deeply beautiful, but disconcerting. And as you keep looking through this spyglass, you got a full success on this find clues, did you not, Robert?
I did.
Excellent. So, Einar, you're looking through this spyglass, and you are deep in this cavern, deep beneath the ice, and yet when you point your spyglass up towards this ceiling of ice, you find that you can see through it as if the ice was a window. It's clear to you. You can see the sky above. And as you look at the sky, it seems wrong. There's a seam in the sky, like poorly mended cloth, that is only visible to you through this spyglass. That is a clue.
Vyn, what has Strangford gotten himself into? Not having a clear direction, that's what he was kind of hoping for by putting the spyglass to his eyes, that it would give him some hint as to where to go next, but only having presented more surreal horrors to Einar, he continues to go further into the depths of these ice caves, looking for Strangford, looking for Redwell, looking for any member of their crew.
So going away from Ravi and Maeve.
Yep.
I wonder, explorers, as Einar heads off alone, and as Maeve and Ravi are seeking to flee these ice caves and possibly abandon this rescue mission, if it's perhaps a good time to try to answer our question. What do we think?
As good a time as we're going to get, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and read the answer a question move. When you have an open, freewheeling discussion about the answer to the question, once you have gathered a number of clues equal to at least half the question's complexity, and reach a consensus, roll plus the number of clues incorporated into the answer or otherwise explained away, minus the question's complexity. On a 10 plus, the answer is correct and the opportunity can be pursued. On a 7 to 9, as above, but the keeper will add an unwelcome complication to the answer, or pursuing the opportunity will be more dangerous. And on a miss, the answer is incorrect and the keeper reacts. You have gathered 8 clues over the course of this rescue mission. The clues you have gathered are: Einar found a spyglass in the abandoned depot that revealed strange patterns in the ice and blinking lights under the surface. Found clutched in the frozen hands of Dr. Elias Norland was a farewell letter signed by Captain Strangford, dated tomorrow, or rather today, considering you have made camp once on this expedition. Ravi noticed the northern lights shifting into strange angular patterns resembling letters or claws. Your crew all noticed a message carved into the ice near the endless ice stairs, and the message read, "No orders, no return." Einar saw a seam in the sky like poorly mended cloth that was only visible through this strange spyglass. Ravi found a full set of baby shoes on the ice stairs, clean, dry, and neatly tied. Maeve found a sealed bottle of brandy with a note inside that reads, "If you find this, tell him I was right." And Ravi found a photograph that he had taken early into this third expedition of Captain Strangford, a picture of the crew, but Strangford's face has been scratched out. The question is, what happened to Captain Strangford? It is a complexity 8, and we solve the mystery by finding the captain and rescuing him, or identifying the assailant, then capturing and destroying them, or possibly just knowing what happened and escaping with our lives. We'll see. I will remind you all that in Carved from Brindlewood games, there are 2 options to deal with clues. We either need to incorporate them into the theory that we are building, or we need to explain why said clue is a red herring and not actually part of our theory. So, this is a open forum. Who's got a pitch here to kick us off?
I do have a pitch.
Let's hear it, Mads.
Okay. Bear with me. I think all of us died right after that first week on the ship, and the captain is the only one alive. I think that a couple of things, right? I think that his letter, dated tomorrow, I think after he buried us, that's when he left and he was like, "I'm alone, I gotta try. I gotta like one last ditch effort." I think that once we were put in the ice, we were like part of the ice and the curses of the ice. And I think that like the picture, that like the captain's face is scratched out because the picture is of the dead. And I think he's alive. And I think he's the one that's alive. And I think we are all dead. And it's a little bit like the end of Lost, but better.
Spoilers for a very old TV show.
So anyway, it doesn't have to be that at all, but that is my current running theory.
Obsessed. Does anyone have a competing theory?
So my competing theory is that we know that there is something under the ice here, and there is also the Isagaric. We've got 2 sort of like supernatural powers that have some sort of conflict between the 2 of them. And I think that Strangford and Redwell are acting out that conflict. That Redwell wants us to abandon Strangford here because Strangford is embodying whatever is trapped within the ice that the Isagaric and by extension Redwell are trying to keep trapped there. And so the photo of the clue with Strangford's face scratched out, that is Redwell doing that. The reason that the letter was dated with a tomorrow, now today, is because it wasn't actually Strangford that wrote it. It was Redwell who wrote it after driving Strangford out onto the ice and hoping to abandon him.
Oh, interesting.
However, the no orders, no return is something that Strangford wrote in, his feeble-minded madness as he's being taken over by whatever it is underneath the ice.
So you're positing that the spyglass, which is revealing like strange patterns and like lights under the surface of the ice, that is like a creature or like an entity. And the Isagaric is a separate entity to this thing under the ice.
Right. The Isagaric is guarding this thing, keeping it trapped underneath the ice. And since Strangford was somewhat possessed by this thing, sought to free it, Redwell, as embodying the Isagaric, thought the best thing to do would be just to cut him off, let him loose, let him die in the Arctic, and bring the rest of the ship back.
There's some precedent for that, I suppose. Redwell was the one that did not want you all to go down the stairs here.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Vyn, what do you think? There are no wrong answers here.
I kind of had the same thing as Robert, just not who exactly was trying to frame Strangeford for all this bullshit. But I was going to say us being dead would be fucked up to be ghosts.
Yeah.
And then die again.
Yeah. Well, like, what if you have to, like, move through your, like, work through that last thing you were dealing with? Like, there's the baby shoes, there's the alcohol, there's the photo, maybe, like, you know what I mean? There could be, but I'm also happy with both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm like, is there a strange way to marry the two theories? Can we be dead, but also there's two entities?
Yeah, we're solving it, but we're dead.
What if it is that everyone but Strangford and Redwell are dead? And the two of them are enacting out this sort of play. And we are just, supposed to be ghosts, the audience, to this eternal conflict between the Isagaric and whatever it has captured. We are just supposed to be the observers to this. But because of who we are, we have started trying to affect it and interact it because we don't know we're dead.
Is that perhaps the seam in the sky? I'm now so on board with we're all dead.
What if there's if this is a place where kind of planes can interconnect and it's part of the land of the dead, part of this other plane, and maybe Tucalito is who's trying to help our souls just go where it needs to go.
That's why she wants you all to give up and leave.
Mm-hmm. Because we're getting distracted and finding shadow places, and it's baby, no.
Is that why all of your bodies are deteriorating? Is it because you're lingering longer in this liminal space and being forced to bear witness to these entities duking it out, and you're not moving on? This is wild.
And it also makes sense that if they were the two that were alive because they were being sort of held on to by these other entities, that would have been what gave their bodies the strength to survive this impossible situation.
Okay. Let's go clue by clue and tie this all together.
So the spyglass revealing the strange patterns in the ice and the blinking lights under the surface, as well as the northern lights shifting into sharp angular patterns resembling letters or claws, and the seam in the sky that looks like poorly mended cloth. Those are all sort of indications that we are no longer on Earth, or no longer in the realm of the living. We are in this weird, semi-supernatural transitory point.
Mm-hmm.
The farewell letter signed by Captain Strangford dated tomorrow actually wasn't dated tomorrow. We had been dead for several days and had not realized it. So we had lost track of the time. We weren't able to, keep track of how many days had passed because we were dead and lingering on. Baby shoes I'm struggling with.
I think the baby shoes are ties to Maeve and Ravi. I think it's the fictional equivalent of the last things you're thinking about as you're freezing to death, and they are kind of manifesting in this strange Arctic limbo. Maeve thinking about her child, and I think Ravi thinking about his mom and being a child. And I think it's a similar thing with the brandy.
Yeah.
Playing on Maeve's sobriety.
I think that the bottle of brandy could have even been something that she had on her person, maybe for this trip, because she had been struggling more, and while she didn't usually carry it, she had been teetering.
Ooh.
And maybe the note, if you find this, tell him I was right. I think I'm assuming that the captain would find it, assuming that he would make it out if I didn't, and it would be about me failing. I think that I probably had a lot of places thinking that this is it, and I couldn't do it.
Oh, so you wrote the message.
I think so.
Oh, that's very dark. I like that. So a question. This doesn't really this doesn't relate to a clue or anything. So all of the crew members that have died in this narrative, like Dr. Norland and Lars Hegeland and Mr. Dumpley, have they now crossed over? Have they moved beyond? Or is it, if you die in Arctic limbo, do you die in real life?
I think sort of. My instinct is to say that no one truly passes on until things are resolved.
Gotcha. Or are they now just kind of fuel for these big entities?
Right, and that's the question is do we follow Tucalito, go out, and our souls go on to whatever afterlife awaits us, or do we follow Redwell or the captain and get basically sacrificed to whatever entity is controlling them?
Ooh, interesting.
One clue that we haven't done is the message carved into the ice, but that one is pretty easy. If we're all dead, of course there's no return. Of course there's no orders.
Oh, that's true.
We are as free as people can be, but we can never return to where we were.
I like that. All right. This was a much more fucked up answer than I thought we were going to arrive at. But I'm so here for it. So we now roll 2d6 plus our clues minus our complexity. We got 8 and the complexity is 8. So this is going to be a flat roll. This is as fair as it gets. Traditionally on Kitten Marlowe, Carved from Brindlewood shows, one person rolls one die and a second person rolls a second die, and then we combine those two numbers together so that we all get kind of equal responsibility for what happens. I think, considering this show, I'd love for Mads and Vyn to roll a die each.
Go! 1.
I rolled a 6.
That is a 7. You do still have one burden left unmarked, which, should you wish to mark it now, that would move this answer to a full success. What do we think?
I think we should do that last burden.
All right.
Since I was the one who didn't roll a dice, do you mind if I take the last burden?
Please do.
All right. Robert, please read this last prompt of the Burden of the Icebound Dream.
Narrate a flashback to Strangford's last chance in London. After the whispers began, there was one final conversation behind locked doors. Show us who still believed him, what was promised, and why Strangford boarded the Fang, knowing it might be the last ship he ever commanded. We go to one of those many smoky back rooms somewhere on the London High Street, where the real business of running what remains of the crumbling empire go on. Specifically, we are in the offices of Earthshaker Enterprises, an import-export company that has recently been funding quite a few expeditions to the Arctic and Antarctic. We see Captain Strangford there, his eyes wild, his face unshaven, standing across from an older man, long dark hair flecked with silver and almost blue, tanned, scarred face that creases into a smile as Strangford explains, "One last chance. That's all I need. I know how to get it. I know how to unleash it. I know what we can do. I just need the funding." And the smile upon that old man's face grows even wider. "I'm always happy to provide an adventurous sailor with one last Odyssey, and I think I have just the perfect ship for you. She's called the Fang." The old man fingers a silver coin as he says these words. A horse on one side, a trident on the other.
Lovely. That makes your answer a full success. The opportunity can be pursued. What the opportunity is, I think, is somewhat up to you and also somewhat individual. Let's go ahead and return to the Arctic. Ravi and Maeve, you have made your way to the foot of these endless stairs, and you hear the voice of Tukalito calling down to you. She has found her way to the top of these stairs. "So you know why you are here."
I suppose we do.
I tried to tell you all to leave this behind, to go, but I don't think you were able to hear me.
And what happens now? Do you take us someplace? Do we just decide to go somewhere? I don't understand, despite the situation.
I take you nowhere. All I do is tell you that there is a way. It is you who must walk it. And before either of you can speak, you hear a whistle. Strangford's whistle. And after a long, loving, sad look in your direction, Ravi, Wolfgang, for the very first time, leaves your side and heads deeper into the ice caves towards his master. Einar, making your way further into these caverns, Wolfgang is now by your side, running past you. And you know wherever Wolfgang runs, you should follow, especially as you hear Strangford's whistle, calling his most faithful friend to him.
Using the last reserve of energy that he has, Einar goes from a shuffle to not a full-out run, but at least a jog in the direction that Wolfgang led.
Einar, you run, following Wolfgang, and you find yourself at the bottom of a valley, barren and ancient. The air is so dry here, the snow sublimates before it touches the ground. Strangford and Redwell are here, and you see them. You really see them for the first time now that your eyes have been opened to the reality of your situation. At this point, Einar, you do not even need the magic of the spyglass to see what remains hidden. Those blinking lights and strange colors are all around you, and you feel something buried beneath the rocks at the bottom of this valley, something older than bones. I have to paint the scene here. As Redwell and Strangford stand off against each other, how has the appearance of these men changed to reflect the fact that they have become the avatars of their chosen entities?
All the color has left Redwell. His skin pale to the point of being the color of the ice around it. Even his eyes have grown cloudy and white. His hair shocked past silver to pure whiteness. His teeth and nails have formed into fangs and claws.
When you try to get closer to see even more specifically what you're looking at, it starts to move just out of your vision. Like when you've stared at the sun and then everywhere you look, there's this blank spot in front of you where you know you're looking at something big, something bigger than yourself, and you can't quite look in the center of it.
Falling into line, Strangford is impossibly tall, beyond human comprehension, beyond bestial comprehension, practically a mountain and impossible to stare at for long.
As Wolfgang pads to Strangford's side, Einar, you notice that Strangford himself is covered in these lights, the same blinking, swirling lights from the spyglass. He does not take his eyes off of Redwell. He has leveled his pistol in the other man's direction, but he chuckles at your approach. Always knew you to be a loyal one. Now will you stand with your captain against this interloper, this jailer?
When we left port, I told you I would follow you to hell, and so I shall. Einar pats himself down, looking for something, pulls out of one of his pockets a rumpled cigarette. But I suppose I might as well enjoy one last smoke before we do so. I don't suppose you have a match?
Always an odd one, even here at the end of all things. Take what you wish, spirit. And the pistol lowers for just a moment as Strangford reaches into his pocket and lights you a match.
His other hand, not the one holding the cigarette, is grasped around his flask of very strong liquor, and he flings it in the direction of the lit flame and the man, the monster, standing behind it. I said I would follow you into hell, but we are already there.
Maeve and Ravi, do you climb these steps?
Maeve looks to Ravi, takes your hand and tries to squeeze it, but there is no feeling there. And she begins to move that direction, but stops, looks down at herself, tries to feel what's going on in her body. She thought it was frostbite, and she realizes as she gets closer to this area, it's actually something inside of her slowly leaving this physical form. It doesn't hurt. Her eyes are still red, and she looks up. She gets still for a long time, and you see her gasp a little, "Mother?" And she goes as fast as she can up.
Seeing this, Ravi takes an unnecessary inhale. Takes one step, and another, and something shatters. Not the staircase, but his foot. And the fissures shoot up his leg, across his waist, through his chest, and piece by piece, ice just sloughs off into nothing. And in the distance, in the ice, that colossal diamond gains another facet.
Einar, Captain Strangford is engulfed in flame, writhing and screaming, and as he does so, you hear this thing beneath the rocks, screaming and pounding and begging for release. What happens after that?
Einar takes a good, long look at the man who was once Redwell. The time of the old gods is over. This is the age of men. It would be best if you remembered that. And Einar begins trudging back the way he came, hoping for one last glimpse of the sky, one last glimpse of the aurora, before his spirit finally succumbs to this horrible, harsh, frozen plain.
The camera sees, but not you, Einar. I don't think you care anymore. Redwell nod, and he shifts from the man that you knew and sailed with to a bear, then a whale, then a seal, and then just a clawed, enormous thing that slinks farther into this valley and out of sight. Somewhere else, Tucolito stands, watching Wolfgang pad up to her. She bends to pet his icy fur, gives him a soft smile, and the two of them walk together, out into the frozen tundra, out of sight, out to other places than this. You climb these endless stairs. You don't see Ravi. You don't see Maeve. But you make it to the top and lay down and stare at that seam in the sky, waiting for it to unravel. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yay!
Yay!
You all got me crying on the podcast. Oh, so that was By Endurance We Conquer by Harold Eckmuller. It is super fun and super cool and is not always this supernatural, although we certainly took it in that direction. One thing that I love about these games is that I'm always continuously surprised as to where the story goes, and that was certainly true in this one. Thank you all so much for joining me on this trip to the Arctic.
One way.
Yes, a one-way trip only.
Couldn't afford round trip.
But while the story of the Strangford expedition has ended, the Isigaruk and the entities beneath the ice, we will see again in Shadows in the Smoke Season 2. The Strangford Expedition is a Kitten Marlowe production. This episode was edited and produced by Kim Dalton and featured a theme song by Jason Myers. You can find out more about us by visiting kittenmarlowe.com, signing up for our newsletter, or following us on socials. For Discord access, exclusive cast talkbacks, TTRPG materials, and more, visit patreon.com/kittenmarlowe and join our doomed crew, the Kitten Marlowe patrons, in supporting artist-driven storytelling. Thanks for listening.